Hello to everyone out there in the world today, particularly those viewing this on YouTube or the finally completed Vox Populi webpage. Now, I know I might have, to some of you, promised that all of the meetings involving Vox Populi, or all of the demonstrations involving Vox Populi, would be recorded for documentation and other such things. Now, the problem with this is that I cannot defile some of our First Amendment rights, unlike the government. I asked if everyone was okay with me recording them, at least their voices. Didn't have to be them, could have been the wall. And the majority vote was that it should not be recorded. So, took notes. 94 cents. Probably literally your best friend in some cases. Now, the first official meeting regarding anything Vox Populi was held at the Owensboro, Davis County Library on the usual date, the usual day, Saturday, every Saturday of the week at 3:30 p.m. Occupy Owensboro members and various other members of any other group affiliated with Occupy in any kind of way, or its members, meet there to discuss local goings-on, anything at all in general. It is the Occupy Owensboro General Assembly. Now, hello, Ginger. Now, on to the important things. We have here a question by a dear friend and fellow member of the Vox Populi. Good old initials GP. What is Vox Populi? Now, I'm the founder, I don't need these. Vox Populi is a movement based around several inspiring factors that have appeared throughout history. One of the major ones being the Occupy movement, which sadly here in Owensboro has not achieved fruition. It is capable of so much more. The Occupy movement overall. Now, Vox Populi's relation to this is that if Occupy is the people, we are going to be the voice. This is important because Occupy's name has been so tarnished that it's going to take a lot more than just myself and a couple other people to repair it. Now, to restore it to its full beauty and glory, some things have to be done, which means you all need to get motivated. If you are a member of Occupy, and you're within the Kentucky area, or state, whatever, the claimed land of Kentucky, it's been labeled that. Now, if you're within this area, please, in any way that you possibly can, contact myself, either through the YouTube page or the email, or any other occupiers that you might know within Owensboro, Davis County. Or if you have no direct link to us, then actually go down below in the description. I will have links to various Facebook pages and such of occupiers. Now, Vox Populi is a tool to be used. Not the people in it, the movement itself. It is a non-profit organized group or organization dedicated to the education and unifying of all of the people, not just within Kentucky and Owensboro, but of the world. This is extremely possible in every way and form. It is very, very, very much capable of being a reality. Some of you might be saying, well, what about the racist and such like that? Anyone can be seen that they are wrong. Those of you who say, hating something isn't wrong, you just gotta keep it to yourself. Hating period, is wrong. It should not exist. But it is a part of everyday life, and we have to accept this. I do, as do the actual core members of Vox Populi. You know who you are, you're probably watching this right now. Now, our goal as a movement, an organized group, non-profit be it, is to help bring understanding of people's lives, how they're affected every day by their local economies and their local politicians, to show them the faults within their society that can easily be fixed instead of just stepping over them, just ignoring them. This is not how you maintain being human. It really is not. Now, there are groups out there who would not agree with my way of thinking, who would not favor it. It's not just my way of thinking, it's the way of thinking of Vox Populi. And seeing as your other methods and your other movements have not worked here, it's time to give someone else a chance. It's like putting the new guy on the bench because you haven't seen what he can fully do yet. It's not right, it's not fair. We all deserve to support each other, we all need to be a family. There's only one race, and that is a human race. We are all human beings, as we are being racist and selfish and overly self-entitled and pompous and arrogant and narrow-minded. It's time to stop. It's time to look around and see that things are not as they should be. We can do a lot better. Vox Populi is here to help you understand that. Now, how will we achieve the goal of understanding and unifying and all such things like that? Now, what Vox Populi is essentially going to be is a form of media coverage for Anonymous, Occupy, and the Zeitgeist movement. For those of you who don't know, please read down below a small summary, well, as best I can summarize, broken down within at least, I don't want any more than a paragraph, so we'll see how well I do. And you can watch the Zeitgeist films. It's a trilogy, the major one being Addendum, and the excellent follow-up being Moving Forward. Now, you can watch those for free, unedited, full, with no legal drawbacks in any sort of way. There'll be a link down below. They are wonderful. If you have about 2 hours to dedicate to this, then do it. You will learn an amazing amount of knowledge. Some people it takes months to fully grasp it all. If you're like me, you got it literally as it came at you. I absorbed everything in those films like a sponge, because I honestly fully believe in the possibility of the Venus Project coming to fruition. If you don't know what that is, you can see it in a moment. Now, but wait till this is over. Now, Vox Populi will be holding demonstrations. We will be doing everything that every other major movement has done before us. But we welcome everyone to join us. If you want to show up with Occupy signs, not Vox Populi signs, that's fine. You don't have to represent the Vox P. You can come up and join us as Occupy. Bring your signs. I want people to see that there is a multitude in it for everyone. That we can all work together. That we all really, truly want happiness. Now, the demonstrations will be recorded. They absolutely will be. You are already standing on the side of the road with a sign. We can all see your opinion out there in the open. So, me spreading it around for everyone else to see and get inspired with is not going to hurt you. If it does, I apologize. That's a society we live in. You have to fight it. I fight it every single day. Every day that I'm alive, I have to fight being exiled from any kind of workforce, having any kind of hope. Because I have been labeled as someone within retail who goes above the head of management if I don't get the answer I want. Walmart has an open door policy. They don't want you to use it. I used it. I got fired. Okay. Walmart they saw a chance that they could get rid of me for going over their head, they did it. They took that chance. They fired me. Is this right? Not really, no, considering they promote it and they want you to do it. They say they want you to do it. They don't. Okay. Did it happen? Yes. Have I accepted it? Yes. I have moved on with my life. Here we are. Now, methods to enact understanding and the gain of knowledge. Our first full-on form of demonstration is going to be myself and some others handing out flyers and little banners giving you fun facts like did you know facts. Like, for instance, did you know living in Kentucky and in most southern states, due to all the coal mining that happens here and all the landfills south of, I'm going to say, the border in the United States, we know where it is, you know who you are. Alright, it's comparable to smoking a pack and a half of cigarettes a day, and it gets worse every year. Whether or not you smoke. If you smoke, and you smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes a day, congratulations, you smoked 3 packs that day, technically. Literally, you didn't. Technically, you did. Because you live here. That's why people can go their entire lives without smoking, without being around smokers, you know, and they can still have smoker's cough. I've met these people. They're usually in small towns, where they can avoid being around smokers. But they do exist. And it saddens me that no matter what you do or where you go, you will still be subjected to these pollutions of your body. Not to mention all the chemicals within your food. More did you know facts coming your way. Now, these flyers will not openly promote Vox Populi, they will just promote knowledge. Things that you didn't know that are affecting your life every day. Things that might upset you. Things that might make you want to change something. But we'll see about that whenever it happens, won't we? They will have contact information and they will be relatively cheap, so if any of you who are here, who can help, who want to help, then please do. We'll be drafting up a template for the flyers and banners here soon. A small thing, you know, a few small things have held us back. And they'll be taken care of within the week. So, all I can say is, that's it. We're going to demonstrate, we're going to do everything we can. Now, on to the next bit. What is Zeitgeist? From the words of an actual member, summarized and broken down extremely small for my simple mind. If you know me personally, you know my mind is not simple in any way. This is the best way I can translate it for you. And now, Zeitgeist advocates personal change, alteration of values, such as values that are negative, like wanting to rape people, openly holding murder fests, or murder orgies, as I would like to call them. They're not as fun as they might seem. I've only been to a couple. That's a joke, by the way. There's no such thing as a murder orgy. Unless you're like Sweet Tooth the Clown from Twisted Metal and you go to a supermarket and then you have a murder orgy because you kill everyone and then you're just so hard you have to sit there and wank it. Anyway, off the topic. Zeitgeist is all-encompassing in that it doesn't matter who you are. If you have things about you that you are willing to change, that you want to change to make yourself better, because you honestly want to be happy and you want to live a fulfilling life that is fulfilling to you, where you are not a slave to the economy or the government that claims that it has your best intentions at heart. We all know it doesn't. If it did, wars wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be sending people who could have bright futures or who have come from hard life situations, who have come from poor backgrounds, who just want to try and survive and try to make a family and make something for themselves in the world. We wouldn't send them off to die. For nothing. For literally nothing. This is all meaningless. All war is meaningless. It all has no purpose. Those of you who know me personally know that I'm a war enthusiast. I love World War II and back. I hate war anything after. Anything after World War II was utterly and completely pointless. America, you have cost your children a lot of lives. I say children because, what, your citizens? Your migrants? You have caused the meat and help a lot of damage, and it's time to pay it back. But wait, we haven't done anything about that, have we? Our veterans are mistreated every day. Drop the ball. It's okay. It's still rolling across the floor. We can catch the ball. It's within reach. As soon as we get on that. Now, if you have a value about yourself that you don't like, change it. If you don't want to hear anything Zeitgeist has to say, that's fine. They're okay with it. They'll move on to the next person. It's all good. You be who you want to be. If you don't like who you are, there's a way to change it, and we can show you. Next. Now, my friend Jared is interested in the history of Occupy Owensboro itself. So, some brief notes. The actual Occupy Owensboro group was officially started October of 2011. The exact date, as in day of the month, we don't know or recall. I am incapable of reaching a few members that I used to have regular contact with, and it's all well and good. You know, hope their lives are going good. And there was news coverage. Pictures were taken. You can find those probably somewhere online. If I can find them at a later date, or this will probably be up before I can actually get around to this, but I will post links and such to the pictures and any kind of footage if it exists. Another interesting historical fact about the Occupy Owensboro group is that Mayor Payne of Owensboro had a certain member, we're going to call him, I can't get too close to his actual name. You know, I liked Jimmy Neutron as a kid, so we'll call him Jimmy. Mayor Payne had him removed from a public speaking, I'm going to say, meeting, because he claimed that, again, Jimmy, he claimed that Jimmy was, what was it, campaigning? Said it was campaigning, and in all honesty, he was not. He really wasn't. He was there bringing up important issues that Mayor Payne did not want brought up. So, he had security or the police or whatever remove Jay. I'm going to call him Jay now, because I like Jay and Silent Bob. Shit's awesome. And, the Messenger Inquirer, they jumped on this like flies on shit. Okay, they were all over it. Now, you might be wondering which side were they in favor of. They attacked Mayor Payne for trying to snuff out, silence Jay's First Amendment rights. They attacked Mayor Payne for trying to subdue the freedom of speech. And for those of you who know what your rights actually are, the freedom of speech and the First Amendment within the Bill of Rights is one of the most important weapons you have at your disposal. So, I'm not saying go out and say you want to assassinate such and such, like, what was it? I don't know the name of whatever. I don't know, some important douchebag, so probably some foreign country schmuck or whatever. You can't say you want to go out there and deal with them in any kind of certain way, because that's not freedom of speech, that's threatening another human's life. And, in all honesty, that's not a good thing. So, if you do say it, don't drop names, and don't drop labels. Loopholes, bitches. Anyway. After that wonderful attack from Messenger Inquirer against Mayor Payne, he withdrew what it is that he said. He withdrew his statement. He changed his mind because it made him look bad to not do that. So, being the politician piece of shit that he is, he changed his mind real fucking quick. Now, Jay did in fact run for a city office. I believe it was commissioner or mayor. One of those. Twice. And was very successful in votes. You know, he got a surprising number considering he ran with no outside funding. He accepted none. He did it all himself. 8,000 or so, 8,000 plus votes, just doing it himself. That is a fucking man right there. Handles his own shit. I am extremely proud of him. He's a wonderful man. Hope he runs again. I'll vote. I hate voting. I hate the system that we have. I think it's stupid and antiquated. It needs to be dealt with and gotten rid of. If I swear to God, if Jay runs, I'm gonna vote. He wasn't the only one that ran, by the way. There were other candidates, and they also were Occupy. Now, I believe it was, yes, January 21st from 2010 and 2011. Or no, January 21st of 2010 was a demonstration. I think it was Citizens United. And in commemoration of this, as an anniversary, every January 21st, Occupy Owensboro would go out in front of our federal building here in town, and they would demonstrate with signs and everything. They would have honk if you support blah blah blah, or honk if you like us, basically. And people would honk, people would wave, people would come up and, you know, openly tell them that they supported them. If I'm not mistaken, one couple who they were protesters in the 60s, they came up to the group and they gave them food, saying that they supported them, that they couldn't give out their names. And to that couple, if you see this, if you know who you are, if you remember that, if you're still going, then they honestly do appreciate it, and they thank you very much. I personally thank you, because it means that people still care, people can still support. Even through the ages, people can still be given hope. And that is valuable. That is amazing. Which, hopefully, we can bring back those January 21st demonstrations. I know that I will, most definitely. I don't care the weather. January 21st of 2014, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there with anyone who's willing to go with me. In commemoration of all of those who came before. Now, May of 2012, Occupy Owensboro, I think they stuffed 6 or 7 people in one car, and they drove up to Frankfort to meet some other occupiers from across Kentucky. Now, the importance of that is that these aren't separate standalone groups in the fact that they don't talk to each other. They do, in fact, communicate. And that is one of our most important weapons. Networking. You need to communicate between your brothers and sisters. You need to find out what the rest of the family is doing. And you need to coordinate. I know it seems a bit military-ish, but you have to be sophisticated and coordinated in your attacks. I say attacks, I mean demonstrations, handing out flyers, protesting in your way. This is all extremely important. These need to be coordinated, and they need to be en masse. They need to be a large group doing this. That is where your best results are going to come from. Now, every Saturday, there used to be meetings at an intersection here in town. Almost, I believe it was near the center of town. There was a big open area next to an intersection that is heavily traveled at all times. And Occupy Owensboro for 3 to 4 hours out of the day would stand out there and demonstrate. They would hold signs, they would invite people up, even a couple times they had cookouts. You know, just come up and talk to them. That's all you had to do. Come up and just meet them and see that these are in fact real people. These are people with hopes and dreams. Stop your laughing. That was the Joker. And, they would, at one point in time, I believe it was within the first couple meetings, they had like 40 plus people show up. Like, it couldn't all be at once, because people do have lives they have to maintain in order to actually survive. But throughout the day, there were at least 40 plus people who would show up, stay, talk, And that was within the first couple meetings. It would be consistent. I want to see that kind of influence here within the first 6 months of Vox Populi. I want to see that motivation, that interest. I want it for the movement. Not just for Vox Populi, but for Occupy Owensboro again. Because Vox Populi has the potential to revive Occupy, but only if those within Occupy and Vox Populi can understand that we all have to work together. We can be separate groups, yes, whatever, but we are we are human beings in this to change the world and to make a difference. So there can't be separation of ideals in the sense that you don't desire to associate with one group over another because of the mindset behind it. Vox Populi is going to be ran completely different compared to Occupy and Anonymous and other movements who have a large group basis in terms of who the speaker is. It's not one person, everyone makes a decision. Now, granted that having many people make decisions is better than one person making decisions because one person is corruptible. One person can be tainted. One person can be paid off. But it's up to that one person. It depends on who that one person is. It ultimately comes down to the individuals involved. I refuse to be corrupted. I refuse to give in. I refuse to quit. I wouldn't have started this if I did. I would not have gained interest in this if I honestly felt like it would be worth it to quit. And for those of you who do support me, and the Vox Populi, and the human race, alive and not yet born, then prove it. Show me your motivation. Show me your talents. Show me what skills you have available. This video marks my declaration of not exactly war, but I do declare that things will change. Yeah, it's going to seem inefficient from my end, because why have a group, why have a core group, representatives from all groups within Owensboro, the people who can gather the most information for me, why have them decide how Vox Populi acts, and then you announce it from there after the group has voted upon things? Because that's what the people at the top have done to win. There is a such thing as class warfare. It exists. The president and his pathetic little 1% declare class warfare, 40, maybe 50 years ago? What do? We ignore it. We let it slide. So if you want to win, if you want to reach the top, you have to look at the people who have come before you. History repeats itself if you let it. If you look at what has happened and come before and you innovate upon that, history will not repeat itself. If we can pull together, if we can become a family, if we can all join together as brothers and sisters, then we can win. We can take back the world. We can take back our lives. We can take back the freedom that we used to enjoy. The freedom that we are owed. we can be free. We can truly be free. But we have to take the first step. I have taken it. And in all honesty, if I'm the only one taking the first step, then this is truly doomed. But I'm not. As long as there's even so much as one other person who takes it with me, then we can accomplish something together. And I'm lucky. I took the first step, and I immediately had 6 people take it with me. 6 people. They stepped forward. They will not be mentioned by name, because I do not want them targeted. Just like with J/Jimmy. I didn't use his real name. So he's not to be targeted. If you watch this and you have problems with this, if you watch this and you don't agree, if you watch this and you have any hatred, direct it at me. Because I will not break. I will not submit. I do not care what negative thoughts you have to say. I don't care what negativity you think you are entitled to. I don't care what your opinion is if it isn't anything but, he's right, we need to work together. We have to be in this for the species. If you don't agree with that, I don't care. The people who are with me, my brothers and sisters who are with me, who stand by me, who support me, they will be the ones, after I have probably been killed from this, either by stress or by some random fucking yahoo with a gun or a knife or some other little clever tool. They're the ones who will carry on and they will finish what I've started. I'm not declaring war. War means that one side can possibly win over the other. Either side has a chance of losing. This is not war. This is aggressive takeover. Vox Populi will cover everything. Vox Populi will be a media source. We will record. We will have interviews. We will have sit-downs. We will have fucking something like a podcast. We will do everything in our power to get the message out there, to help people understand how fucked they really are. And that there is hope. There is something that can be done. There is something we can all do. But you have to take that first step. And some of your brothers and sisters have already done it. But will you follow? I know people will say, well, you need to not stay with the pack, you need to do your own thing. It hasn't worked up till now, has it? And it won't. It will not get the job done. That's why I don't declare this its own individual thing. This is an inspired movement and organization. We are just using a different name. We will not take sides when it comes to conflict. We will give all of the facts that we can. You will decide whether or not you agree with them. If you don't like what we have to say, but you still sit through all of it and you still comment, that is on you. Because you sitting all the way to the end and then commenting saying, well, your little rant at the end was stupid. You still watched it all, didn't you? You still sat here. You still viewed all of this. That means that you took some of this information. It's in there. The seed has been planted. All you need to do is exist and it will grow. Without my help. With my help, it'll grow on steroids. So, are you going to join me and my brothers and sisters? Are you going to take that first step? Your first step. We've already taken ours. We've already crossed the threshold. We're holding the door open for you. It's whether or not you want it. Do you want to truly be happy? Do you want to truly be free? Do you want to change something in your life? Do you want to change something in the world? It is all possible. We can all do it. I will try. I will do until I am dead. I can rest when I am dead. What will you do? That's what I want to know. What will you do? But, again, guys, boys and girls of the world, brothers and sisters, fakers, haters, swag fags, and YOLO queers. And the yo-hos, can't forget you. Now, all of you out there, whether you like or hate this, you will at some point learn that you must be the change you want in the world. We can help you do that. We can help you be the change. You just have to want it. See you on the other side.